I'm here, baby. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, pretty little head. Babe. Goddess. Dollface. Goddess. I think only Zach can pull that off. I need to not do that. Obviously, Robocop. But what else is the question? There's some other stuff I want to share with you guys at some point. I don't know when the right time will be for that. Come on, controller. Here we go. That was disturbingly slow. I guess just straight into Robocop. And then as soon as people have logged on, I'll trick them into watching other stuff I want them to see. What's up, Short Talk? What's good in the hood? It's for your own good, you people. I want you to see obscure stuff you wouldn't otherwise see on any other channel. Bro, I remember that. Shit, that takes me back. Oh, fuck. I think this is the hospital from that GTA video on Twitter where the guy goes in and just guns everybody down. Good thing I'm a Robocop. Or Robocop. I'm trying to combine like robot. Oh, she's a cute one. Look at those freckles. You know the bitches are having fake freckles tattooed on their face now? My fellow gamer, they might be. My brother in Christ. I don't think so, though, actually. So you know what I've been looking at? That might have been me. I shot pretty indiscriminately. I've been looking at a Samsung curved monitor that's super ultra wide and enormous and rotates. It rotates vertically. And when rotated in the vertical configuration, when rotated vertically, there's a display mode where it simulates 3 virtual monitors stacked on top of each other. If you want to do like crypto trading or whatever, or just streaming and having OBS open on the same monitor as your game. Which I technically could probably do with this monitor. There's just not quite enough real estate unless I wanted to split it into 2 4:3 aspect ratio display areas, which I don't want to do. I'm not about that life. I thought that was what I was going to do when I bought the monitor. I thought I was being smart. I'm like, this is as good as having 2 monitors, but it's 1 monitor. I never use it that way. Not once have I ever done that. I'm enticed by that giganto monitor, though. But it's $1,000. And I'm like, that's the index money. Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way I'm paying that kind of money for a monitor. Well, why don't you try smelling these feet? Ugh. Look at his beautiful lips. They're so succulent and juicy. A corpse. I'm one of those. Don't you go stealing no fucking bodies. Those are my people. I did not expect that voice to come out of that body. He looks a little bit sneed. It's an adjective now. So I blew a fucking... Didn't blow a breaker, I flipped a breaker. Just using the microwave today. I was trying to microwave nacho cheese, but it wouldn't get hot no matter what I did. I wound up having to microwave it for almost 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes before it was actually hot. And then it stayed hot for like half an hour after that. The thermal capacity of nacho cheese is second to none. We should be using it as a thermal storage medium for solar power. Somebody has been visiting Lewis. I don't like it. She's my waifu. I'm the robot man. I'm the Robo Chad. Is it though? That's a crime. That's a serious crime. Oh. No game audio. Thank you.
Take a single corpse that had documented brain trauma. I've got to say they were very thorough.
Anything else?
That's it for me, but talk to the security guard in the lobby. He should know more.
I do that every
Now that I'm
time.
looking at you, didn't I work on you? I recognize that jawline.
Robocop confirmed Jaw Chad. Ain't no jawbreaker can get the best of me. I am the jawbreaker. I am the law.
Finally. I've been calling you guys for the past 2 days.
What do
Just
you know
don't call me
about
late
the
for dinner.
disappearance at the morgue?
Sure, I know I'm just a security guard, but I know how you operate. I've seen the show, so let me break it down for you the way you'd understand. I estimate the incident occurred in around 300 hours. Multiple perps entered the GMH from the east and then proceeded to the BLE. then most likely use the EFS to get down to the MORGUE.
What can you tell me about the perps?
We caught their leader.
You caught him? Where is he?
Oh, I mean on camera. Now, there it is. Caucasian male, late 40s, dapper dresser, if I can say so myself.
That was very helpful. Thank you for your cooperation.
No problem. Just because I don't have a badge or a service weapon or a cruiser and partner or even a bulletproof vest, that doesn't mean that I can't be of help to the police.
I mean, you can buy a bulletproof vest online. Although I don't know if the internet exists in this world. Isn't that a hell of a thing? We could live in a world with this cybernetic policeman, but not an internet. This is probably the most tame vision of the future I've ever seen, and the most cynical one, where almost nothing gets better except for cop weapons and technology. Hang on. Nope, there's nothing else. I apparently missed some police work I could have earned extra points with. Also, I'm apparently a big stupid dummy face because if you put all your points into deduction, it unlocks way more stuff. Because deduction makes you gain EXP faster.
Mr. Becker wasn't happy when he heard about your little trip to Highland Park. But between you and me, what you did was quite impressive. Maybe it wasn't an authorized mission, but it can still give us an idea of how your systems are holding up. So, let's see how you did.
I didn't rescue a hostage. Adequate.
Thank you for your cooperation. What's
Hang on.
all the
I'm gonna put everything into excuse me, I can't make fucking words right now. Deduction, deduction, deduction.
motion?
It turns out to be a really smart thing to do. It's like there's a skill in Terminator which is deceptively named. It's like cleverness or something that enables you to just learn faster. It's the skill point that just gives you more skill points. So if you happen to know that ahead of time, which I didn't, which I probably hamstrung myself and limited severely the overall number of skills I can develop in the course of this playthrough by not knowing that sooner. You just max out deduction first, and then you get way the fuck more EXP for the entire rest of the game. And that enables you to unlock everything else instead of having to pick and choose, which I guess breaks the game, technically. Oh, here's the rusting hulk of my defeated nemesis. Oh, I can harvest a PCB. Holy shit. I never would have thought to do that. Am I allowed to have that? It's not really clear. That was a bitchin' boss fight, though. Holy shit. Fuck. Did I fuck myself up here? I think this is 3.3 now, right? Not 3.2. That was totally unnecessary, wasn't it? I got nothing out of that. Why couldn't I rotate these? That'll do it. That's what I had before, though. I think. I don't think that was a new board, was it? Is this what I had before, or is this the new one? That's got to be better. It's higher numbers.
You all know the procedure by now. Officer Cecil will gather Briggs' belongings and deliver them to the family. They asked for a small funeral, so I expect everyone to give the family space.
Briggs was one of us. We should at least do something to honor him.
Best thing we can do is get those butchers that did this to him. I want to see everyone in the briefing room in 10 minutes. Now back to work.
Hey, Murphy. You've been to the hospital, haven't you? How's Lewis?
Unconscious, but stable.
She'll pull through. I'm sure of it.
It's time to hold OCP accountable. This can't keep happening.
Relax, Kaplan.
He's not wrong.
How many more of us have to end up in the hospital or a morgue before we do something?
It's like Sarge said, we need to get the guy who did it, so maybe let's focus on that? Speaking of which, there's someone who might know something. There's a guy in the jail that wants to talk to you, Robo.
Damn, you know, one time one of my ex-girlfriends called me by my author name in bed and it did nothing for me. It was cringe. But I swear to God, if a bitch called me Robo, I would be diamonds forever.
See you later in the briefing room.
Men never really emotionally mature beyond, like, 13 or 14. We all just want to be Robocop and shoot guys in the dick and buy that for $1. If I camp out in the bushes outside of Taeon's HQ, do you think I could intimidate them into making Blade Runner next? Oh, you know, just same old around here. Talking about how all men want one thing and it's disgusting, which is to be Robocop.
Welcome back, Robo. You have a minute? First of all, I wanted to say I'm sorry that I hesitated back at that steel mill. I already filed a report on the incident to Mr. Becker. Fucking rad. As I was writing it, I noticed a lot of opportunities to better myself. But considering that was our first mission together, it wasn't all bad, right?
You helped plenty.
Still a long way to go. I've been getting to know different aspects of being a cop, and there's one thing that I keep underperforming at. Shooting. Would you mind showing me how you practice at the range?
They're really getting a lot of mileage out of this mechanic,
Yes,
aren't they?
Practice makes perfect. Let us not waste any more time.
You want to go now? Yeah, great. Let's go.
Fucking cornball ass yee motherfucker.
I love the smell of this room. Should we start? First, I want to watch you practice. Can I come out?
Jesus, he's all over me. You gonna suck my balls too?
We are not done.
Right. This has to be some sort of record.
It
Not
is
really.
I took so many notes.
Next time, do it quietly. Eliminate distractions. Being overeager is one of them.
Ah, so that's the actual lesson. Now I get it.
Is your service weapon properly prepared?
I was issued this old gun and serviced it according to the manual.
I will try it out.
Sure thing. There you go.
I fucking suck at this. I don't really care though. I guess if any of them reaches you, you're fucking dead. And that's that.
There's my favorite law enforcement officer.
Oh, I know this guy.
Why are you in this cell?
I come here to think sometimes. The food is better than in the soup kitchen.
That is resourceful.
Why, thank you. I try very hard to not try at all. Seriously. I was hoping to see you. I heard what happened to Briggs.
What is this, a dating
After
simulator?
everything he did for me, I'll do whatever I can to help you catch that Wendell guy. He seems pretty good at pitting people against each other. Maybe I'll find some of his dissatisfied customers who'll be willing to talk to me.
It could be dangerous.
You kidding? On the streets, I'm a samurai. Well, with Briggs dead, probably makes me more of a...
You are not a Ronin.
Yeah, okay. Just remember, if you need anything, I'm your guy.
That doesn't seem very professional. I mean, I guess he's not officially part of the investigation. But for a police officer to be associating with and delegating police work to a random homeless addict, I guess that's just to show that Robocop is actually a bleeding heart after all. Everybody loves a tough guy with a heart of gold. That's the essential formula for Robocop as a character.
I'm the one that has to do it. It's not fair.
What is it, officer?
Huh? Oh, I didn't realize I was talking out loud. It's just that I need to hang Briggs's picture on the memorial wall. It's just a lot. Hey, would you be so kind and help me? All you have to do is find Briggs's photo in the database and print it out. Just make sure to hang it straight. Otherwise, I won't hear the end of it from Sarge.
Well, you can tell by the way I move my walk, I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. You need love and something, don't know the lyrics to this song. What doesn't matter, it's okay. Both your face and balls are gay. I don't know. Is it really this way, or is it downstairs? Oh, I fucked up that task, actually. Didn't I? Whoops. Whoopsie fucking doodle.
In other news, Mayor Kuzak suffers another humiliation during his mayoral campaign. The hats that he gave away to the homeless citizens of Detroit seem to have another application. They turn into balaclavas that are now commonly used to protect the identity of liquor store robbers. As a result, we've seen an unprecedented spike in crime.
They are deliberately making me look like a fool.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. It's got to be downstairs. It's in the server room, I think. You know what this game needs is a Louis Armstrong vocal track. He is a Robert, he is a cop. He is a Robert cop. Oh. Briggs. What the fuck do I care about Briggs? Look at the size of that printer, and it's still black and white. Holy fuck. This is really kind of unimaginative, come to think of it. This is just the 1980s, but with slightly better computers and robots. Honestly, if you told me back then how much those two technologies would improve, I would have believed you, but a lot of people wouldn't have. Because I watched Terminator. Do you need like a little booster chair to get up there, Robo?
Murphy. I still need to go get his stuff, so I'm gonna take care of the desk, but could you get his belongings from his locker?
These are just fetch quests. Also, I've been thinking, there's a lot of 80s action movies that aren't really suitable for making into a game like this because they're just not fucking different enough. Like, I was thinking about Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't think that would make a good Taeon game because it's just every other action movie but with railguns. You feel me? Total Recall, maybe. It has an interesting setting. It's an interesting quasi-futuristic Earth in a Mars colony. But that's even that's borderline. Someone said probably Judge Dredd will be next. I'm wondering if that's different enough from Robocop. A lot of these movies were inspired by each other. Robocop was just fucking Judge Dredd and I forget what the other one was.
You can put everything in the box. I'll make sure it's damn.
He gets it.
I usually do all of this alone, and it doesn't get any easier no matter how many times I do it. But having you share this responsibility with me, it actually helped. Thank you, Murphy.
Maybe another shot at Rambo, so they can pretend the other one never happened. I want to say Judge Dredd, you could differentiate it enough from Robocop by having it be large enough worlds to drive the Lawmaster around his bitchin' Justice motorcycle. If it's more over the top comic book style envisionment of like Mega City 1. But then people just say, what is this, Cyberpunk 2077? That's the problem. They waited long enough that there's so much derivative media that it'll be compared to it inevitably. Universal Soldier might be cool. There's a lot of 1980s shootmen who must shoot the bullet. There's kind of an endless repository of movies to make these games about. You have to really think hard about which ones deserve it, which ones have interesting settings and events. My vote, everyone knows my vote is for Blade Runner, and my second vote is for The Goonies. But I would not be averse at all to a Total Recall by Taeon. Also, they could probably make a better Matrix game than the actual ones that we got. Although Enter the Matrix on Xbone and PS2 wasn't bad. Taeon could just do better. I am shootman. I must shoot.
Is everything okay?
Your service weapon is broken.
I calibrated it. I did everything the manual said.
It is beyond repair. They must have issued it to you by mistake.
Huh. I don't think that's entirely true. Other cops give me a hard time because Mr. Becker hired me to monitor you. But I guess that's the way it has to be.
A cop must be ready. Get a different gun.
Sure. Thank you, Robo.
Oh, that's what I was supposed to do. Alright, alright, alright. Now I can move on. I think I can move on now. Let's see what else. I would like to see the Explorers or Flight of the Navigator, but I don't fucking know how you make a game out of that. It's probably not the best. If it wasn't for the fact we already have 2 superb Ghostbusters games, I would say Ghostbusters for sure. But we kind of have a good problem in that that's already been done for us. That's a good problem to have. We're eating so good. The world is burning outside of the game world, but in the game world, everything's awesome.
Thanks to Robocop's insubordination, we finally have something concrete.
At your service.
Wendell Antonowski struck a deal with the street vultures at Highland Park.
A place where, for some reason, we weren't supposed to go.
Be that as it may, we're on the lookout for anyone from this biker gang. We also know what he's looking for.
Yeah, dead bodies.
Dead bodies whose brains are still intact, to be precise.
Wow, that's even more messed up. Why would he need him?
We'll get to the why, but for now we need to focus on catching Spike.
Sure Talk,
He's
that's been
our
remastered.
connection to Wendell Antonowski. Since
It was
they know
fun.
we're onto them, I'm expecting them to be in hiding.
It's been remastered though. There's a newer version.
They're not hiding. Put on Channel 9.
What in the hell?
What in the hell?
I repeat, OCP Bank is being robbed by the notorious street vultures. We'll keep trying to get closer for a better view.
All right, everyone back up. I want you all to be at SWAT's disposal.
Sergeant, am I back on the case?
I don't think Becker will give me grief if I let you go save OCP's money. You're reinstated. Everyone, move out!
Do you know that for a fact? I want to say, I want to say I played the Switch version on the emulator. That there emulator. Uh-oh.
Oh, look at that. One of the cops was actually bothered to show up. No need, SWAT's got it covered.
What is the situation?
Vultures came up with the great idea of robbing the OCP bank. They've got hostages, and they claim there's a bomb. They must be crazy to think that OCP will just let them leave with their money.
Was there any sighting of Spike?
Not yet. But I'm sure they wouldn't pull such a stunt without their leader.
What is the plan?
Let me make this clear. It's SWAT's plan. You're no part of it.
Then you are going to need a new plan.
SAS Master 3000. Awesome police line there. Someone can just fucking walk in.
With
with this buggy brain of yours? You think you still remember how to put the heat on them scumbags?
I prefer to serve justice cold.
And also to say bitchin' one-liners.
Let's see who tags them all first. Contact! Contact! Now it's done, boys. Suspect is down!
I'm gonna shoot you right in the dick. I'm gonna shoot your dick. Shotgun.
Suspects are resisting! Keep moving! Well done. Robocop, open the gate for the N209 units. We'll secure the area.
I'm trying. How'd I do that? Is the computer controlled? It is. Am I gonna have to fight all these? I better not. Why do they growl? Why do they growl?
Please put down your weapon.
I can see your bank job turned out to be quite intense. N209's behaving themselves?
So far, so good.
Not that one.
Heading towards the vault. It's through the office area.
Put down your weapon. Put down your weapon. Please put down your weapon. You now have 15 seconds to comply. You now have 15 seconds to comply.
You're stealing the show.
There's an armored gate in lockdown mode in front of you. Find a way to get past it. Try finding the weakest spot in the wall around the gate and breach through that.
I don't know how to. What do I do? I want to say this was Danny Elfman music. Was it? Am I right? He did fucking everything for a while there, especially in the 90s. Oh, here we go. Who wants some Kool-Aid? I sure wish I could duck.
Nice and steady. Suspects are resisting. Come on, Jaguar, we need to win this.
We need to win this.
I knew you were gonna lose. Our line of work is about the team, not the tech.
When are you gonna learn? It's about the team, not the tech. Fuck you. I am the tech and the team. I'm the furniture of law enforcement.
Robocop, I've received information that the bank manager is held hostage in the vault.
Where exactly is it?
Find the manager's office, and we'll go from there. It's at the far end of the office area.
Your presence here is unauthorized.
So is depriving thousands of people of a roof over their heads. But OCP doesn't seem to mind that.
Explain.
Delta City. A heaven on earth that OCP plans to build in place of old Detroit? A city of the future where there is no crime or poverty. Do you believe the commercials?
I am working on the no crime part.
Then OCP may become the object of your attention soon. In order to create Delta City, OCP must first get rid of people who live in old Detroit. Now that's a topic I'd rather do a story on than you glitching. OCP offered these people investment in the project. The value of their property would cover the cost of entering the business. The later gains will far outweigh the cost, supposedly.
You do not believe that.
It's OCP. There must be a catch, and I think I found it. The documents say something about additional costs. I believe that's a loophole that OCP placed in order to scam people out of their homes.
That is only suspicion.
And I need time to prove that my suspicion is true. Time and some of these documents I found. If you detain me, the SWAT jerks will requisition them.
You can go, but if you continue to disobey the law, you will be detained.
Maybe I should have treated you more like a police officer than OCP's property. Anyway, the city owes you. And I owe you too.
I gotta be a good guy in Robocop. Those hips don't lie, though.
I can see you've reached the manager's office.
Basil Polidorus. I've heard of him.
Switch that unlocks the doors that lead to the vault. If I was a bank manager, I would probably ask for that switch to be installed. Now, take the doors behind the desk and turn left. The way to the vault should be open now.
Don't forget that I'm a robo, but I'm also a cop. I'm also a Robert.
I will not contribute to depriving my grateful employer of his art.
Robocop! I knew our founder would send his best.
We're not done yet.
They didn't want me here, actually.
You're still alive.
I only played dead, so I didn't end up like you, with a bomb strapped to my body.
Robocop, you have to defuse it. The explosion could cause the company enormous losses.
I need the support of a combat engineer.
What's that sound?
I saw that Orpheus kid playing puzzle games on his breaks. Ask him for help. I'll be watching you.
That's your best lead?
Officer Washington, I am looking at a ticking bomb.
A bomb? Okay, I'm passing you through to the bomb squad.
There is no time. I will need your help to defuse it.
Gosh, I mean, I'll do my best, but just give me a moment. First aid, kidnapping.
Are you looking for a bomb defusing chapter in the police manual?
Found it. First rule, call qualified personnel. Oh, no. Okay, tell me what you see.
Why can't I just patch him through with a video camera?
cables, green, 2 reds, and blue.
4 cables? Got it.
It is a C4 explosive and seems to be homemade.
Yeah, that's what I'd expect from the street vultures.
4 connectors with different voltage.
What's the highest voltage?
24 volts. Cables lead to the fuse.
Does the fuse appear to be electronic?
Affirmative.
Okay, so they used this kind of bomb before. According to the diagram, you should detach 3 cables. Start from the one with the highest voltage, then proceed down one at a time to the one with the lowest voltage.
There are 2 different color 12-volt cables. Which one do I detach first?
Maybe this isn't the time, but I'm colorblind.
I will have to improvise.
Just remember, detach the one with the highest voltage first, then proceed down to the lowest voltage.
Bitch, I'm a robot. I can't forget anything. Elephants never forget, neither do robots. Nope. That was not correct, actually.
I will not contribute to depriving my grateful employer.
Robocop! Mr. Robocop.
Gotta do all this all over again. So it's the lower of the 2 red cables.
4 connectors with different voltage.
Am I all...
What's the highest voltage?
24 volts.
If I was colorblind, I couldn't tell green from red, right?
4 cables, green, 2 reds, and blue.
4 cables? Got it.
It is a C4 explosive and seems to be homemade.
Yeah, that's what I'd expect from the street vultures.
Cables lead to the fuse.
Does the fuse appear to be electronic?
Affirmative.
Okay.
Why? How could that be wrong? How can that be wrong? It's got to be one of the 12-volt ones, right?
I will not contribute to depriving my...
Single punch kill. Impressive.
Four cables, green, 2 reds, and blue.
4 cables? Got it.
Shut up.
It
Good
is
idea.
a C4 explosive and seems to be homemade.
Yeah, that's what I'd expect from the street vultures.
Oh, one of them is a 6-volt. I should do the
Cables lead to the fuse.
blue one next.
Does the fuse appear to be electronic?
Affirmative. Four connectors with different voltage.
What's the highest voltage?
24.
Okay.
There are. I will.
Just...
Okay, that did it. Don't fucking drop it. You could jostle the wires about.
It was just a minor incident.
I also killed you
Ready
twice.
To get back to business? Because I need to make a withdrawal. Like, now.
Well, I should really check upstairs.
Nonsense. This is OCP. Money comes first. Now, open the vault.
There you go, sir.
Great. Now out of my way.
Oh, the fucking things didn't retract. Boo. Uh-oh. Well, at least there's one gold brick.
What the hell is this? Where is all the money?
Our founder has most of our capital tied up in a very ambitious and resource-heavy project.
I can't believe old man's blowing all of OCP's money on Delta City.
Have some respect, young man.
Bottles? Back with the money the next... We're leaving.
You should be proud to work for such a great man.
At this rate, soon there might be no one left to work for him. See what I'm talking about?
Finally, we get to play Cave Explorer. Although no one really wins that game. Really, society loses. Did they just say vultures attack? Like they're shouting out like a slogan, like fucking Power Rangers? I shouldn't have used this gun. I should not have used this gun. This was not the right gun for the job. Nope, they got me. If I get a chance to, I should pick up a different gun. Oh, I can't go back through. Shit. Well, I'm stuck with the shit gun. I should have gotten that. Maybe there's a better one in here somewhere. The shovel. That's the one. James Horner is another guy who did some great soundtracks. I could listen to me some fucking James Horner all day. Bum 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 bum. Nope, again. This is a good time to take a break. and play something I want to play that I haven't been able to for a while. Because I couldn't figure out for the longest time how to get Jaguar CD emulation working. Turns out there were two issues I had that I didn't know about. One is I had the wrong format of CD image, and the other was that I had to set the input set to analog, which the Jaguar pad was not analog. I may have had like a joystick or some shit. I've been wanting to show you guys these games for a while though. Like the only two good Jaguar CD games, for example. Deluxe CD version of Battles of Iron Soldier 2 with cutscenes. I'm gonna skip most of. Look at that fancy CD video rotating logo. This corporation. Hey, that's cool and everything. I want to play a mission that has another robot to fight. I don't remember which one though. Oh, look at the little video of the rotating. That's not in the cartridge version. So almost all Jaguar games have the same control scheme if they're vehicle based. You hold a button to adjust up or down. Hold the button and push up or down on the D-pad to adjust your speed. This is by far the superior version to Iron Soldier 1, and there's no reason to own 1, because this is basically just a remaster of it. The missions are almost the same. Let me step on you. Crunch. Hehehehe. You punch the wall. Punch, punch, punch. I punch you! I punch you! Look at that smooth frame rate, too. Look at that texture mapping on the ground. This was always by far the smoothest running Jaguar game. They really knew how to get the most out of the hardware. Although it's still a tragedy. It's gaming's 9/11 that the Jaguar didn't have two 64-bit object splitters and regular on CPU cache memory instead of a scratch pad memory. According to John Carmack, that would have tripled its texture map polygon performance, which would have allowed it to compete with the PlayStation and Saturn. Compete with, not be better than, or as good as. This looks damn good though. The problem is this is the kind of game they needed at launch. I'm not supposed to be destroying the buildings, am I? I forgot. Look at the solar panels. That's forward thinking for 1994. Oh, there's a walker. Look at those texture mapped vehicles. Wow, wow, wee, wah. Better than Metalhead on 32X, despite the better texturing on that game. There was an Iron Soldier 3 on PlayStation, also new on, which nobody had. Oh, I failed. Let's try a different mission. I was supposed to protect them. I didn't do that. Isn't there a desert? It's a desert somewhere. Yes, indeed. If this had been what the Jaguar fucking shipped with instead of Cybermorph, things might have gone differently. It's pretty good as mech games go if you like Mech Warrior 2. It's simpler though, there's less going on. It's definitely not a simulation. There's some customization and there's damage models and there's other mechs, but it's definitely not a mech simulator. The buildings are texture mapped now, though. Holy shit. This almost looks like a 3DO game. Which would have been high praise at the time. It actually runs pretty well. Runs very smoothly. I don't know how the ground plane is done. I don't know if that's all it can't be polygons. It's got to be something like VDP too. Don't get used to this level of graphics. This is far and away the best looking game on the Jaguar. This is what its potential was. Being a fucking clusterfuck with lots of mistakes in the like not having two blitters and using scratchpad memory. Also, Carmack said the 68K was a mistake, which is included to handle audio processing and familiarity. The problem is that it backfired. People were much more comfortable using that processor than all the new ones. So there were a lot of 16-bit ports that looked just terrible for a supposedly 64-bit system. Nobody wanted to bother using the RISC-based CPUs. Anyway, that's Iron Soldier 2. One of the best games on the system. But you really have to like mech games for it to resonate with you. This is my favorite CD game of the only two good ones. It actually fucking slaps. It's a sequel to Cybermorph. Nobody fucking wanted it, even though I think it was a pack-in with some of the units. Otherwise, nobody would have had it. Because nobody plays this. Nobody streams it because they assume it's like Cybermorph, which is a reasonable assumption to make considering it's a sequel. Welcome to the battle cruiser Sutherland. Bandire.
Welcome to the briefing room.
Yeah, I have to actually read. You have to read the mission. This is not one of those shooting games where you can just ignore the story and just shoot. You actually have to do what they tell you to beat the mission. So this is something where you got to fucking sit here and pay attention to what they're showing you and what they're telling you to do.
Load weapons onto your war griffon. You can put one weapon. Cruise bombs. Decoy.
You equip different weapons.
War griffon ready for launch.
Listen to that Sean Connery impersonation.
3, 2, 1, launch. Approaching target.
This was hot shit at the time. Full screen FMV at a reasonable frame rate. This is why the Jaguar CD hardware was used in the Area 51 arcade game. We got underwater habitats already. So yes, you can go underwater as a feature of this game. Your ship turns into a submarine. It's not fully texture mapped, but it runs pretty well. Probably as a direct consequence of that. Search underwater for a battery. Okay, so the battery is underwater. Look at the fishies. It runs a little bit slower because there's a wavy optical effect going on. Did I play through the Molly Moon? No, I didn't. I haven't. Is that what all the other streamers are playing? It wouldn't surprise me. She's got some fucking radical boobs. She's got an OnlyFans too. I'm kind of warming up to this era in which if you see a pretty girl involved in anything, and you're like, I want to see her naked, you probably can. It used to be if you're like, I want to see you naked, they're like, no, fuck you. But now it's, do you want to see me naked? All right, here, give me some money.
Enhanced scanning. Let's go home.
That was the mission? Really? So the radar fucking works now and is actually helpful. Here's the portal to go home. Mission completed. Yeah, they are nice. You know what pisses me off though? I've been seeing a lot of cosplay convention videos and I found out a lot of them are just adult video actresses who show up to the convention to advertise their themselves, basically. Which, understandable, they're just being entrepreneurs, and they're being enterprising young ladies. But if you went there to see sincere fans do hard work on their cosplays, and there's a bunch of titty monsters walking around taking up all the attention, there might be a reasonable cause for resentment. Did I just explode the fucking planet?
Welcome to the briefing room. Be careful out there. Load weapons onto your war griffon. You can put one weapon in each bay. War griffon ready for launch. Stand by. 3, 2, 1, launch.
So there is a game drive, a flash cart, if you want to collect for Jaguar, which is much, much cheaper, because the cartridges, the good games for this system are expensive as fuck. We're talking about like over $100 for some of the good games. And some of them are like $175 or thereabouts. It ranges from between $50 to $180 or thereabouts. So it's way more economical to just get a game drive and play the ROMs. Unless you actually sincerely have to have the repro carts. It's nice to have the carts. To have a physical game to clunk into the cartridge drive. But here's the thing. There's almost no working CD units anymore. And the game drive can emulate the Jaguar CD. So you can load the CD game bin and Q files onto a micro SD card and run them off of the flash cartridge, which is a killer proposition because and it makes it much more palatable because you fucking can't find working CD units anyways. So that soon will be the only way to play them on real hardware. It also used to be that if you complimented a woman's breasts, you got slapped in the face. But now she's the one being like, hey, look at my awesome tits. Check out my OnlyFans. Capitalism is magic. I gotta find the bad guy HQ. It's not these. Oh wow, texture map buildings. You gotta understand, in 1994, this looked really good, actually. And the console itself came out in 93. So 1 year after the US release of the Super Nintendo, I think that was 92. Was that 91? It's either 91 or 92. It was really soon after. It wasn't really in competition with the 32-bit machines because those mostly weren't out yet. when it came out. It was in competition with the 16-bit consoles, next to which it looked like $1 million. And it was cheaply priced too, because it didn't have a CD-ROM drive. It's kind of like Fury 3, if you ever played Fury 3. It's a planetary fly and shoot game with missions. I'm looking for a blue building. So we're fighting Pernitions. Man, textures really bog this shit the fuck down. I'm starting to think Carmack was onto something. If only I could go back in time and prevent the Holocaust, but also while I'm doing stuff, adjust slight details of the Jaguar architecture. It could have still been very cheap, but it would have been 3 times faster at texture map polygons. And we could have had games like this, but with full texture mapping. Instead of Goo-Rod shading, which they made a big deal out of in marketing. Oh baby, Goo-Rod shading. Which was pathetic as soon as the fucking PlayStation was out. And even arguably before that. Even 3DO made a mockery of the Jaguar. No blue lady, you'll notice, telling me where did I learn to fly. Where the fuck is the teleporter? Follow roads. All this needed was a couple... You know what the problem was? It was designed by British people. I'm not making that up either. Not being like, haha, it's fun to hate on British people. It was actually designed by Flare Technologies. So it is British people's fault once again. I was inside the building. That's one of the first-person sections. There's a lot of gameplay variety in this game. There's first-person sections, there's tunnel sections, there's underwater sections, there's blow-up-the-planet sections.
Rapid fire.
So already you can see there's a lot more going on in this than there ever was in Cybermorph. This is the game Cybermorph should have been, but Atari was greedy and rushed development. Ah, here it is, HQ.
Let's go home.
Let's go home. Where the fuck? Look at those polygon trees. Amazing technology. This did look good in the kiosks. This was being compared to Super Nintendo, realized. Compared to like Star Fox, this did look better. It was more advanced and was free roam. Ran pretty decently for the platform too. A lot of Jaguar games pushed it way too hard and had shit frame rates as a result. Where's that blue guy? Whatever it was, it's dead now. My name for energy. You know what my favorite Jaguar story is? CES 1983. They demonstrated Club Drive to journalists in a hotel room, and they got laughed at, and it made them cry, and they got really angry and defensive. Which, I mean, I would cry too if I had made Club Drive and had to, or if I had to defend it. Because, I mean, that's... Even for super effects, that would have been basic. There we go. Oh, it was inside the fucking headquarters the whole time. There we go. See? A good game on Jaguar fucking CD of all places, which makes it completely inaccessible to almost anyone except for emulation. And only recently has it been possible to emulate properly. Jaguar CD actually was notable for being able to do full screen MPEG-2 video, which Saturn needed an add-on module to do. So it got reused. The Jaguar CD hardware got reused in the Area 51 series of arcade cabinets.
Planet Sieventa. Welcome to the briefing room. Good luck.
I want to blow up a planet.
Weapons on the award report. You can put one weapon. Cruise bombs.
I'll get to eventually.
War Griffon ready for launch. Stand by.
But can you see how this was the original vision for Cybermorph, and they had to ship something for launch, so that the only parts that really got included were just flying the spaceship around and collecting yellow pods and shooting at shit. This is the game it was supposed to be, and it's a good game.
Good luck.
Albeit one that will probably get laughed off of even the Saturn or 3DO. Maybe not the 3DO. Okay, so there's trains. Trains are carrying the data pods. To stop the train, I need to destroy the bridges. Look at that water shading. Look at that fancy water. The music changes too. Yep, destroys the train. No, don't you steal that pod. That's mine. There are bastards who will steal shit. I guess I'm the bastard, technically.
Enhanced scanning.
Yeah, a good Jaguar CD game. This, I know I've said that before, but just think about it. Think about that should blow your mind. With texture mapped fish. Holy shit. Is it worth owning a Jaguar and a CD unit to play this game? Absolutely fucking not. Is this a decent game that if it had more texture mapping would have been well reviewed on PlayStation? Yes, and that's saying a lot. And again, I guess part of the charm of Jaguar is just the shit graphics. And this is good graphics for Jaguar. This is almost as good as it got. Compare this to Iron Soldier 2. Iron Soldier 2 has a bit more texture mapping, but not a lot. Not a lot more.
Rapid fire.
Is there a train nearby?
Rapid fire.
Enhanced scanning.
Enhanced scanning.
There we go. Wait, where'd it go? Oh, there it is.
Objective found.
It's fun, it plays well, it's not shit, it has a good frame rate. It made me feel like I wasn't a total idiot for buying a Jaguar CD back in the day. This and Virtual Light Machine. I didn't have Iron Soldier 2 because that came out after the death of the system. But then I had a Nintendo 64 and a PlayStation.
Let's go.
I'm glad I had the Jaguar though. I had an interesting experience not everybody got to have. It's like digging through a big pile of trash in a landfill and you find a dirty gem and you're happy you found it even if it's got dirt on it. We're gonna fucking 100% this game tonight. Here it is. There's a planetary detonator on this world. We'll get to actually go through tunnels now, which I don't think we've done yet. Then you actually have to escape before the countdown. It's like Super Metroid, the first level, the space station. You'll get a countdown and you have to escape. It's there's actual shit going on in a Cybermorph sequel.
3, 2, 1, launch.
Let that percolate in your brain meat.
Target well.
Nobody's watching, that's funny. I don't blame you. Only I love this game. Stockholm Syndrome.
Luck. Enhanced scanning.
Big mountain. Big mountain located. Which means there's got to be a tunnel. Oh, here it is. There's got to be a tunnel entrance somewhere. Pop up mines. Fuck you. Oh, here's... Actually, I don't have to go through tunnel. Oh, 30 seconds. Shit, shit, shit.
Countdown initiated.
And that's the whole mission. That's the whole mission. I want to say you do that on the final planet too. It's not a very long game. And then again, they expect like 10-year-olds to be playing this and not to read anything.
Nice work. Planet Zero. Welcome to the briefing
In
room.
a cavern. So this is an underground mission.
That's the spirit. Load weapons onto your war griffin.
The novelty here was playing a Jaguar CD game that didn't fucking suck big donkey dick. Everything else on this add-on was terrible. Highlander was terrible. All the VidGrid was terrible. It had a Space Ace and Dragon's Lair port, but I mean, if that's what you like, then fair enough. But it's not the genre I care for. It had Brain Dead 13, which was the same kind of thing. That add-on did not need to exist. The best games could have been done without it. It is a fun system to own, though, just because people are like, what the fuck is that thing? Like, it's a 64-bit Atari. Actually, I take it back. Now people generally do know what it is because of the Angry Video Game Nerd episode. All they know is, where did you learn to fly? Like, oh, Jaguar, where did you learn to fly? Haha, yes. The funny green lady. Where the fuck is the tunnel entrance? Is that ammo? That's ammo. Imagine an open world RPG in an engine like this. I also like how the bottom third of the screen is covered by a HUD to improve the frames, I would assume. They couldn't make it full screen. There it is. Get a load of this shit. Tunnel gameplay. The giant Atari key.
Access code found.
Holy shit, tunnel gameplay. Does PlayStation got tunnels? No, it fucking doesn't. Fuck you. I don't even know why, but fuck you. So if you're trying to get a gauge on how powerful the Jaguar was, it's not really analogous. But, it's about Game Boy Advance tier. So the stuff that was done on later GBA could be done on Jaguar. In fact, the GBA used Jaguar Doom as the basis for its own port. Hey, we'll get back to Robocop, okay? It's not every day you get to see Jaguar CD gameplay on Twitch. Oh, here we go. It's a secret tunnel. They could only afford texture mapping part of it. Oh shit. Free extra life. If I can get out of gay baby jail.
Extra ship.
The booster gates. Are those good for anything? I can't rightly tell. Another free ship.
Extra ship.
I just have to find the next tunnel. Look at those frame rates though. This is not a Jaguar. That's nothing to sneeze at. You can if you want to, but... This one goes out underwater. There we go. I'm glad they packed this in with the add-on. At least if you owned the add-on, you had one game that justified it.
Access code found.
It was also almost the only game that was any good. It was this and Iron Soldier 2, basically.
Objective found.
How do I get out of here? This way, this way. Collect the data pods. Did I not do that? Should I go back to the tunnel? I must have missed something. I remember typing this up to a buddy in middle school and he came over and played it and it's like, I'm sorry, this is shit. He's like, I understand. I understand, only I like this. Yes, part of the novelty is this is what a 3D Atari should look like, because Atari had shit graphics too anyway. Oh, there we go.
Objective found.
I missed a data pod. Don't they have thumb drives in the future? Remember, my first system was the 2600, so in my brain, that's what the video game world looked like. To me, NES was amazing. NES looked... I would say Sega looked like reality, kind of, but in 2D form. The digitized actors on Sega Genesis were like, wow, wow, wah, wee, wah. This is the best graphics will ever look. Ain't no way games will ever look better than this. How could they look better than real life? Jaguar also had a really cool looking in-store kiosk. Just to explain why anybody would ever give it the time of day. It's the underappreciated underdog, which is what draws me to it.
Approaching the settlement. Recovery system engaged. All crews stand by. Welcome back. Planet Zephyr.
Last mission. I can't, what? The Pernition General is a giant bee. I don't remember this.
Be careful out there. Load weapons onto your War Griffon. War Griffon ready for load.
Oh, you can remap all the buttons. That's cool.
Good luck.
Are there more bees?
Let's
Nope.
go home.
I might have misremembered. There might be more to this game.
Approaching the settlement. Recovery system engaged. Welcome back.
Yeah, you warped to another cluster. We're not going to play the whole thing tonight.
They're waiting for us.
I wish they had chosen a normal voice actor. Save state. Anyway. What else? You've seen most of this stuff before. I didn't want to do any of the regular Jaguar stuff because you've seen it. Just a Jaguar CD. This one has a CD and a cartridge version. A lot of these came out on both because they didn't want to assume you had it. Oh yeah, I wanted a Saturn in the worst way. Look at the graphics in this one. The graphics. Look at the graphics. Get a load of this shit. Full texture mapping, baby, and the frame rate's not completely terrible. It's just mostly terrible. It's a cyberpunk flying car game with full 6 degrees of freedom. This is beginning to resemble something that could have been on like PlayStation or Saturn, but probably more likely 32X. It's actually only rendering like a third of the screen too. That's why it's got such a big HUD. This is another post-mortem release for Jaguar from Telegames. Telegames basically bought out the rights to all the unfinished Jaguar games and finished up the ones that were mostly done to publish them. That's why we got Worms in 1998 as the last release on this console. That's why we got Skyhammer and Iron Soldier 2 at all. So spiritually, I live in the alternative timeline. On all levels except for physical, I live in the alternative timeline where the Jaguar wasn't a badly designed clusterfuck and it had 2 object blitters and didn't have scratch pad memory. So that it had reasonable 3D performance with texture maps and not what we see before us now. One nice thing I will say for it is that CRY color. 16-bit CRY color, which was very rich and looked very good for the time compared to RGB. A lot of even PlayStation games often ran a 256 color mode. Like PS1 Doom was 256 colors. Can't tell which ones are allied. Anyway, that's the furthest Jaguar graphics ever got. State of the art, and it just renders cubes. It's just fucking cubes. This is another one that got released under Telegames that was salvaged from the scrapyard. How do I start? How do I start? Yeah, but how do I start though? How do I start? I can't figure out how to start it. Oh, B. I'm hitting B. Well, I can't fucking start it. Worms is a classic. This is almost the best version of Worms, which Jaguar has a lot of. It has a lot of almost the best ports. Because PlayStation came along and blew everything the fuck out of the water. So PS1 has the best console port of Worms. It looks a lot like a Jaguar version. The only thing it's missing is in the Jaguar version is the zoom in and out effect, which is unfortunately pretty important to the game. You'll see what I mean. It also is almost the best version of Doom, but PlayStation Doom came along and fucking wrecked it. PlayStation didn't have Wolfenstein 3D, but it didn't really need it. But until PlayStation, Jaguar was the best place to get the best version of any multiplat. That was its claim to fame. It also had Rayman first. That's fine. That's an acceptable landscape. If you compare this to the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo versions, there's a big difference. I've heard people say, oh, this looks like a fucking Super Nintendo game. No, it doesn't, actually. It actually doesn't. Not because of the Jaguar's awesome raw power, but because the fucking 16-bit ports of this game were botched, in my opinion. They look terrible. The Genesis one doesn't even fucking have a background layer. It just has like blue, or maybe it has like one, but it looks terrible. Looks like a fucking Nintendo NES game. This is by far the richest color, CRY color. Thousands of on-screen colors at once. It just doesn't zoom in and out. Can't quite do that. Can't quite pull that off. Which the PlayStation does. Which also the MS-DOS version does. So it's something they should have had but didn't. I don't know why. It's not like the Jaguar couldn't do that. We've seen it do that before. I guess because it was unfinished and they just finished it, whatever needed finishing so they could ship it. When Telegames bought it. I had such a hard time talking friends into playing this at a party once. They were like, this looks like the gayest shit in the world. I just want to play GoldenEye. I want to play GoldenEye. And I'm like, we played GoldenEye. Like, well, let's play Mario Kart 64. I'm like, that's all we've done all night. Just please, for God's sake, give Worms one... Give it a chance. I felt like crying. Because everyone looked down on my poor Jaguar that I had Stockholm Syndrome for because it had shitty looking graphics. They did give it a chance. I had to explain to them that in Worms multiplayer you have to pass the controller around. Once they understood that, they were like, they got into it. At least 3 of the other guys did. Justin and fucking Daniel and I think Josh gave it a chance and were impressed and liked it. I don't think there was ever a Worms game on N64. Or I'd be surprised if there was. Okay, we're out of homing missiles, so we actually have to practice some strategy here. I'm going to teleport 2 of my guys within shooting distance of him. Don't you kill him. Don't you kill him. Oh, come on. Can I get close without getting too close? That was a bad choice, bad plan on my part. They have perfect computer aim too. Is the problem? Oh, you fucked yourself, you dumb asshole. Nope, that didn't work. Great game to have on a system like this that has so few good games. Great version of a great game, too. It was the B+ version, whereas PlayStation got the A version. PlayStation was the system to have, if we're honest. I didn't get as much out of it as I should have. I was just wanted the consoles, not the games, which I don't understand why I was like that. I would get the console and then like 5 games, and I'd never buy any new games. I'd just play the ones I had. I think because it was so backbreaking to earn the money I needed for the consoles, I couldn't bear the price of the games. I also rented a lot, though. That was part of it. And I didn't know which games were good. Because we didn't get the internet until like 92. And I didn't get to use it most of the time. It's going to come down to 1 versus 1, isn't it? Which means I mismanaged my troops. Womp womp. Let's see if I can get there and kill him before he kills me. Oftentimes if I get close enough, they get confused and they shoot something too close and they kill themselves. Oh fuck, really? Come on. This isn't going to be fun to watch. This is going to be a long, drawn-out match. Y'all have seen this. I'm just going to go quickly show it. This was identical to the 3DO version, which in turn was also a port of the Macintosh version with new assets. That's why he's got the Doom gun. It's a higher resolution screen display, higher resolution sprites across the board. The weapon sprites don't look like Atari things shit anymore, even though it's on Atari. The enemies, only downside on this version is that the enemies don't have back or side sprites, so you can't sneak up on them, which is also the case in Jaguar Doom, to save memory. New textures on everything. Remember, the old Wolfenstein insisted on running in a border. Even the highest detail version was still in a border. This is no border, it's full screen. No one shoot a dog. Come on. Never let shoot dogs. They're all good boys, every single one. What was stupid and also always pissed me off is that there were no shoulder buttons on the standard controller. And when we did get shoulder buttons on the Pro Controller, they were never used for strafing. Which I think was also the case on Was it the case on Super Nintendo Doom? Like, nobody thought maybe we should give the players a way to strafe. Strafing was not in the lexicon of the devs yet. It would have been a way fucking better port if you could just fucking strafe with the trigger buttons. That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna play that one. That one sucks. It's a homebrew. Interesting homebrew. Look at Sky Fox. Star Fox impersonator. Sky Fox. It's a different fox. Somebody on the forums made this. It's an early alpha. They do plan to eventually make it into a full Star Fox style rail shooter, which the Jaguar never had. It really should have. It really would have made much more sense on the hardware than the free roaming games like Cybermorph and Battlemorph that we eventually got. Not that Battlemorph is bad. Battlemorph is quite good, as you've seen. But it came way too late in the system's life to make a difference, and many of the other games were just too ambitious for the hardware. Raiden. I fucking love Raiden. Everybody's played Raiden because it was in every pizza joint, every laundromat. Everywhere you went, there was a Raiden cabinet. Especially Raiden 2. There was a lot of Raiden 2s. Raiden 2 is mostly the one I played. This is another one that looks 16-bit, but this is unique in that it's one of the few ports where they actually bothered to enhance it at all for the hardware. It runs in a, I think, higher color mode, and they redrew all the sprites for this version of Raiden, which then got reused. It's not the best version of Raiden. I would say that's the FM Towns Marty version. But you don't often hear anyone say the FM Towns Marty has the best version of anything, but it did in this case. That's slapping music. Also, it really sounds really interesting on the Jaguar sound chip. No animated fire, though. Look at that in the launch sequence. Boo. Boo! Na 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 na. Notice this version does have the background details, like guys on bicycles on the road, or cars, or cows eventually at one point. The second, I don't think the second one had that. Not every version has the cows, if that matters to you. Bitch titties. Love this game. I played so much of this. Not because it's good, it was just everywhere. They had this in the Godfather's Pizza I used to go to as a kid. Every Friday, the whole family would go and do laundry at the laundromat, and then as a reward, we'd get pizza. And the pizzeria had arcades. Had an arcade machine, I should say. It's shooting the wrong direction. Oh, there we go. See, there's higher color in those damage sprites. Backgrounds look more or less the same, but with a little better color. You can really only see the difference in some of the bigger sprites. They didn't put a lot of time or money into making this noticeably 64-bit, which Jaguar wasn't really in anyways. is barely 32-bit. It's like the Amiga 32, CD32 claiming to be 32-bit. Which it actually was, but that even seemed like, felt like a bigger lie. Oh, you bitch fucker. That took away all my weapon power-ups. Like, look at the trees. The trees are better drawn. There's another case of rose-tinted glasses. We remember 16-bit games looking better than they did. If you go back and look at the Genesis version of this, it doesn't look this good. This is just how you remember it looking. So the Jaguar did actually do a better job. Just not so much better that you couldn't mistake it for Super Nintendo or Genesis. Genesis had, I think, Ride and Trad. Having a port of this on Jaguar was also really neat, and made me feel, again, a little bit less dumb for buying one. One thing it didn't have a lot of, and I would like to have seen more, is sprite scaling games. Like Super Burnout. It's much better at sprite scaling than it was at polygons. Let's get blue weapons. We've seen maximum red weapon power up. Bitch fucker. Shit. And this is the easy version of the game compared to some of the others. So yeah, sick game to have for this platform, even if people didn't appreciate it at the time, because like I spent $250 on a 64-bit console, and this is what the graphics look like. Anyway, I guess we're done with Jag for tonight. I'll come back to this some other time when you least expect it. I had fun with it though. It is a fun console. It almost by accident, it has some really great games on it, because Atari didn't fucking try. Atari wasn't trying. They didn't really do shit for developers. They didn't pay a lot of their developers. They didn't have good development kits. They didn't teach anybody how to program around the new chips in their convoluted piece of shit console architecture. And yet, despite all of that, a couple of developers really came through in spades and made really good, memorable games for the console. And there's not that many, so if you want to collect, you don't have to collect very many games. I don't even bother to touch the bad ones, which is most of them. It has a better, I'd say it has a better library than 3DO. So it's better than people give it credit for, but not by much. It's definitely not on par even with the Sega Saturn. Even with just the US Sega Saturn games. Something like Bug or Willy Wombat would have been a huge get on Jaguar. Just to show you how dire things are on that system. But yeah, it has a couple niche games, which if that's your niche, you might want to check it out because it's got some really great games in specific niche genres that don't have that much mass appeal, like mecha, or like line scrolling, sprite scaling, super scalar motorcycle games like Super Burnout or Tempest. It's just oddball games that happen to be really great examples of their genre, but that fucking nobody played because they were on the fucking Jaguar. I feel bad for it. It deserved better than it got. There's also some good homebrew games on it.
I am in pursuit of the remaining bikers. I have followed them into a tunnel.
So that's how they must have gotten here in the first place. It seems they're retreating into the old industrial area. That must be where they've hidden their getaway vehicle. You gotta hurry.
He never stops doing police work, even when he's damaged. He loses his wife. I never thought of that. That is true.
Robocop, there's a deserted warehouse nearby. It's the only building with street access in the area, and it's big enough to store their vehicle. It's your best bet to proceed there.
Roger that.
Thank God I had this power up. Come on, where are you? Through the wall. He passed through the dimensions. I wish I could go back for a health power, but I just wind up dying. There we go. They're right where you need them. I can't open that. What do you mean I can't open that? Oh. Surprise! Blast your ass.
Fucking hand off.
Oh, this is what I needed. Now we're talking. What's here? Yes, it is me, the dick shooter.
I am listening, Creep.
Robocop!
Why did Wendell Antonowski send you here? This was a suicide mission.
We no longer deal with that arrogant prick. We had an agreement. We held our end of it. And apparently it slipped his mind to pay us for our services. Well, that didn't sit well with us. So now we're out to get what we're owed.
The only thing you are owed is a prison cell.
I don't think so. I'm a vulture. I need my space. I'll see you around, cop.
It's a boss trigger. That's a boss trigger if I ever heard one. No, really? That's not? Okay. I'll be damned.
Before the attack, we all thought our money would be safe in the OCP bank.
Yeah, glad we got Murphy on our team.
That's me, I'm that guy. They're talking about me.
Pertinent information regarding the case.
We'll get to that, Murphy. But right now, it's time for your psych evaluation. Becker will chew my ear off if I don't make sure you take part in it. So go. Dr. Blanche is already waiting in the observation room. Once it's over, join us in the briefing room.
I didn't even get to use the grenade launcher, which I finally found. Boo. Boo.
What's the big idea?
Piece of junk taser blew the fuse when I tried to charge it. Robocop, is that you? I can't see anything.
I am standing in front of you, Officer O'Neill. Is there a problem?
OCP skimps on everything when it comes to the police. Fired our maintenance guy to reduce their costs, so now we are literally in the dark.
We need to get the power back on.
I am equipped to deal with such situations.
Why don't I have flashlights in my nipples? Why would I not have nipple lights? Explain me that. I don't see cables, I mean. Surely down here is where the fuse box is. No, I guess not. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to use my scanning rate power. Oh, I see. It's like a troubleshooting mini game. Okay, I'm picking up what you're laying down. Was anyone at least a little bit impressed by how much certain Jaguar games did not suck, Dick? Because I'm trying to project my trauma onto other people of having bought that thing for $50 in middle school. $50 was a lot of money to me at that time. That's a little combination. Okay, I gotcha. I gotcha. If I'd only had a Jaguar and never got a PS1.
Oh, that's Detroit's shining beacon of hope.
Bite my shiny metal ass. No, really, do it. That's the only part of my body that feels anything anymore. I desperately want pleasure.
I'm ready for you, Robo.
Bite my shiny metal
All right.
ass.
Let's see what's cooking under the hood. Once I'm done, he's all yours, Doctor.
Hello, Murphy. Congratulations. I've seen your
Robo-Catholic.
accomplishment on TV. I hope that I'll manage to remain professional despite sitting opposite a celebrity. How do you feel about being acclaimed as a hero again?
I serve the public trust. I do not do it for fame.
No. Your sense of duty is what drives you. That's clear. I'm sure you'd love to share this accomplishment with Anne Lewis. You've seen her at the hospital, haven't you? How is she?
She is stable.
You cherish that relationship, don't you? She's an important part of your life. Your past life, too.
She is.
Just like your family. You're very protective of your past.
OCP cut me off from my family.
And how do you view their decision to separate you from them?
It was cruel.
To everyone involved, I'm sure. Nevertheless, you still think about them, don't you? What comes to mind when you try to remember your family? I see. Memories can be painful. Especially
Oh, I needed skill points for that, didn't I?
They tend to remind us of what we're missing. The thief that broke into my house I mentioned before. He was my brother. He was an addict who'd come over to steal things to sell so he could buy drugs. As you can imagine, my last memory of us together is not a happy one. But despite that, I still wouldn't want to lose it. It serves as a reminder of how I failed him.
No, he failed you.
And I've been trying to rectify it ever since.
I do not remember my family. I can only feel them.
These feelings, how do they manifest themselves?
As echoes of the past. But OCP sees them as obstacles that need to be removed.
And now you're afraid that they sent me here to convince you they are right?
Did they?
What you need to understand is that regardless of outside influences, my client's well-being takes highest priority. Especially now that I understand how important these memories are to you. I will fight for you in every way I know how. If you let me. I think this is a good place to end this session. Thank you for your honesty. It certainly has been noted. I've got plenty to think about for now.
Damn, look at that donk. You got the whole damn bakery back there. Where are you going with all that?
So it wasn't a mistake to make it send us insulated gloves.
That pants full of ass.
We are going to build a brand new city where Detroit now stands. Delta City is the only hope that we have.
Honestly, they don't seem like the bad guys. Delta City would have been better. Detroit kind of fucking sucks. And they were vindicated too. Detroit still sucks. Not as bad, but it's not good. Let me, I got skill points. This is what I should have done sooner. Turns out if you put all your skill points into deduction, it unlocks skill XP faster, which lets you in turn upgrade all the other skills much quicker. Don't make the mistake I did, which is try to upgrade yourself in a balanced way.
All right. Situation at the bank was contained in a relatively smooth fashion. So what did we learn from it?
When it's their money on the line, OCP will send Robocop, the entire SWAT team, and a bunch of Ed 209s that actually work.
Anything else?
Wendell Antonowski no longer deals with the street vultures.
That's right. There's been a rift in their midst, and I want to know why.
Spike has proven to be talkative under suitable conditions.
That's why I want you all to head to the city and do some actual police work. We need to find Spike. The attack on OCP Bank was a desperate move. I'm sure there's plenty of theories floating around. So we need to listen to what the streets are saying to find where the vultures are hiding.
I know someone versed in street talk.
Talk to him. And, oh, I almost forgot. Murphy, once you're downtown, the old man wants to meet with you.
The old man himself? What an honor.
Yeah, he's the closest Detroit has to real-life royalty. Maybe for saving him all that money, he'll knight you or something.
Enough. Head downtown, ask around, and most importantly, find Spike.
I am already a knight in shining armor.
Robocop! Over here! You wouldn't want to make the mayor of Detroit wait, would you?
May I help you, Mr. Mayor?
Oh, it's me who's gonna do the helping. You know John Mills, I presume? The OCP puppet who's gunning for my seat as mayor? I've heard from a reliable source that he's planning to make you the highlight of his election bid. Judging by your expressive face, he hasn't talked to you about it yet, huh? That's what I figured. What a slimy bastard.
The skin's not bad
Using your
on the
image
humans.
to influence the good people of this city. And without your consent.
The animation's the problem.
That's clearly something that I would never do. But you know that I've always appreciated what you're doing for our city, right? So the real question is, what are we going to do about it together?
I will not let OCP take over this city.
I knew you'd understand. I need to go. Campaign season is busy, but let me leave you with one word of advice.
Wait. What do you mean
Whatever
wait?
you do,
Wait for what?
Make it clear that you are not siding with Meals.
Yeah, it's got some elements in It's got some Robocop 2 stuff in it. I guess because they never plan to make a second game in this
Say
series.
no to Delta City. Vote for the neighborhoods. Vote for Kuzak.
So they decided to put all the stuff from the 2 best games in. Kind of like how Terminator Resistance has Terminator 1 and 2 stuff in it. They wanted one definitive game.
Tell him all about how the OCP is.
Which, I mean, fair enough.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't say a word.
Nothing is assured, even though they've been knocking it out of the park every day. Ever since Terminator.
How come this is the first time I'm hearing this?
You know, things could go wrong, and they might not be able to get another
How are you
chance.
feeling after the incident at the bank?
Who gives a shit? I heard that you're heading to the city. Once you're out there, I want you to check one apartment for me. There's suspicion of domestic terrorism and corporate espionage, so expect a warm welcome.
Should I assume hostility from the suspect?
I assume you'll find sensitive data there. Look for it thoroughly and make sure it comes straight back to my hands. Tenement across the street from the arcade, apartment 12. Now go, I've got to prepare for a meeting. And remember, if you won't take care of it, another cop will have to. Another cop that isn't quite as resistant to deadly surprises as you are.
That sounds almost like a threat. Yeah, listen to those gas engines. Futuristic gas-powered engines. Because in the future, of course, we won't have electric cars or anything like that. Crazy. This does look like 80s Detroit.
Hey you. The old man is waiting for you upstairs. This entrance to the building is off limits. You think it's have to use the staircase?
How is the staircase holding up under my weight? I wondered that during Terminator also. I walked on a single plank of wood to cross the gap in Terminator Resistance as the T-800 in Infiltrator mode, and it didn't break. Feels like the apartment block from Cookies.
The old man's waiting. So, it's true what they say. You do have some kind of defect.
Yeah, a Magnum Dong.
Oh, it's good to see you, my boy. Leave us. I want to talk to him in private. You have to excuse me for not getting up. I'm in a rather unfortunate state. You did exceptional work at the bank. I want you to know that I am deeply grateful for your service to OCP and the city of Detroit. See, I grew up in this very apartment, or what's left of it. It used to be a thriving neighborhood. Nothing like what you see right now. I always dreamt of turning it into the most prosperous district in the city. A new heart of Detroit. imagine? Or do you think it's just an old fool's pipe dream?
I agree with all city improvement plans that have the citizens' well-being in mind.
Glad to know you approve. Delta City's construction is about to start. Finally, the old and frail will be replaced with the new and strong. Decay and death are terrible things. You lose everything you worked for your entire life. But I don't have to tell you what that's like. It really makes me wonder, has the time you spent in that armor been a burden to you?
The only burden it causes is to criminal scum.
I admire your confidence. The real reason I've summoned you here is because I'm aware of your instability problems. And it's not a matter that we can overlook. That's why I...
Compared to what, 8209?
Look after you. Tell me, how are you finding your evaluations with Dr. Blanche?
I am happy to comply with any activity that improves effectiveness.
You're a good sport. I can imagine it's not a pleasant experience, but I can't express how much I'd like you to keep at it. I'm sure that becoming a liability is the last thing you want. Am I right?
That is correct.
Now we've reached an understanding. Tell me, is there anything I could do to put your mind at ease?
My partner has been severely wounded and is being treated at Gibson Memorial Hospital.
I'll make sure she gets the best care there is.
Thank you.
I have to say, you brought a lot of hope into this old man's heart. Now, excuse me. I'm not supposed to exert myself too much. Doctor's orders. And you can't argue with them.
We need real Robocops in
Take care
Portland.
of yourself. After all, the peace of Detroit depends on...
Can I jump off of here? Can I just do a Spider-Man landing?
Holy shit! What was that? Not such a piece of junk after all.
You're supposed to. It impresses them too. How about that? That should have wrecked me though. I mean, steel is only so strong.
Hey Murphy, are you done with the old man's tea party? Remember to get back in touch with your informer. See if he has any info that can get us back on the biker's lead. Spike is still out there.
OCP wants to raise towers and glass and steel. Go ahead. Just not where we live.
Not in my backyard. You pissing, bro? Oh. Way to reuse assets just by changing the time of day. Is this going to be the hub level for the whole game? I actually don't really have a problem with that. If so, it's a pretty good hub level. If this is just the entirety of Detroit. Given the fidelity they rendered everything to, it's kind of too much to ask anyway. I have a chance to earn some EXP. Y'all ever play or emulate a FM Towns Marty? The Japanese-only system. Is this? It claimed to be 32 bits. It wasn't. It was 16 bits. It was a 16-bit CD-only system, no cartridges, which makes it kind of a rarity and unique. It's I mean, there were 16-bit CD consoles, but all of them were add-on based, like Sega CD and PC Engine CD. FM Towns Marty was 16-bit and CD-ROM based from the start. Which, for me, is the sweet spot for retro gaming. Because you have all the space you need for a good pixel art game, but hopefully not enough hardware power for FMVs. Hopefully you have pixel art cinematics. The only use of FMV in a CD-based 16-bit game I ever saw was the Sega Genesis Terminator game, which was superb, stellar. Mwah, chef's kiss. Great. It was one of the first great Terminator games. See if we can get this ain't gonna work on me, will it? This is just his computer room, man. Everybody's got one of these, right? Or does that give me a skill point? It gives me a free skill point. That's a thing. That's a thing, apparently. Look at that pizza. That's so realistic pizza. I want to eat that. I just recently had pretzel crust, Little Caesars, and it was alright. It was really salty. I don't know why the fuck I'm complaining about that, though. It's pretzel crust. It's gonna be salty. Hello, Little Caesars.
So OCP is ordering you to
Our
break
pizza
into
is
the apartment of a
reasonably okay for what you pay for it.
before I write a story on that?
I am here to investigate domestic terrorism.
OCP sent you to my safe house because they want to know what I have on them after the bank incident.
I assume there is more if you cannot store everything here. I found a rental bill for a locker in a storage facility.
Make up your mind. First you let me go at the bank, and now, when I'm actually starting to figure out what the OCP scam is all about, you show up and ruin this. Do you want to help OCP avoid liability?
Your evidence is invalid if you obtained it illegally.
I don't collect it for the court. I won't win against OCP there. It turns out I was right. That thing that OCP plans to do with charging residents of Old Detroit with additional costs, it is a loophole. It will lead to the illegal expulsion of thousands of people if you help OCP silence me.
Explain.
Not so fast. I need to be able to trust you first. At the bank, you proved that you are more than just a tool programmed to obey OCP, but now, the stakes are higher.
What is it that you expect?
Since you're here, I fully expect someone from OCP to go and check my locker. I need to protect what's inside, but there's a meeting I need to keep an eye on. Too much depends on it.
I will not be involved in the smuggling of contraband.
Look at those beautiful
Nothing
lips.
illegal about my request. I need only one box from there. The one with the inscription Bakery on the corner. The rest you can leave to OCP to pick up. I need to just spring clean my out-of-date documents anyway. Call me once you secure the box.
I better get some ass for this. Look at this old ass. I guess it is the 80s, isn't it? Why did they not try to like make cyborg soldiers? That seems like the obvious application for this technology. Oh, one of these. I wonder how good it is. .3, holy shit. .3, this ought to be good. Not that my gun isn't already kind of good enough for most situations, but honestly I've been struggling in recent combat scenarios, so I'm not going to turn my nose up at it. Perfectly good set of upgrades. Y'all hear this is going to be a Netflix Bioshock movie? Also Gears of War? How do you feel about that? Something else I forget. I remember. There's a couple projects coming down the pipeline that I've been excited about. Got almost everything I need. Okay. Wow, holy shit, it's almost maxed out. I know I've solved the mystery, I just want to get XP points. So I can level him up as much as I possibly can. I want to make this guy... Look at that brap gas. Oh, it's a sleeping gas trap, that's right. Why does she have sleeping... Oh, never mind, I keep answering my own questions. Quiet, George. I'm merely your friendly neighborhood Robocop. I mean you no harm. This would be so much better in VR, am I right? Have Robocop vision on your vision. Maybe Robocop's view of the world actually is rendered in Unreal Engine 5.
We should vote Kuzak. And those guys just another suit. He knows nothing about ordinary people.
I don't see any crimes. I guess it looks different enough to be worth retreading the same ground twice. I hope there are other areas as hub worlds in the game, though. It'd be disappointing if this is all there was. Although, I can't say I'm honestly disappointed.
I had to take a bus. Freaking OCP robots destroyed my car during that bank robbery.
We kind of live in this world now. This looks like Portland. And we have robot police officers, kind of, but they're night scope butt plugs. They're like if Apple designed Daleks.
Are you like me? Are you a true environmentalist? Do you appreciate the majestic beauty of nature? And do you feel helpless knowing that every year more and more species are becoming extinct? Because let's face it, there's nothing that can be done. So, you know what they say. If you can't beat them, join them. Last chance safari. See all the endangered species before it's too late. Last Chance Safari is the largest collection of near-extinct species on the planet. So hurry! Get them before it's too late! Additional fee to use your personal rifle may be required.
Man, it's Robocop. So what? We're just sitting here enjoying the moment. Nothing suspicious. Right, officer?
Shouldn't we give the fellas the signal?
We should just shut up and smile like the exemplary citizens.
That sounds a bit sus. Yeah, not gonna lie.
Are you lost, officer? I can show you the exit if you want.
I could just melt into the wall briefly. I'm starting to think this isn't real. Some kind of simulation. Why is that a big revelation? It's a reprint. It's a print. It's common.
Trouble with the lock.
Seems that I forgot the key, but,
You will tell your story at the station.
Are you sure you have enough seats in your car to take us all?
You don't want to do that.
If you do not come quietly, I will not need any.
I'm gonna go around and flank him. That is significantly better. Can I surprise him? Yep, I can. Oh, they fucking spawned. They fucking teleported. Did you see that? I didn't want to do that. You made me do it. You know, PlayStation 1 has so many fucking good games on it. If you never had any other console in your life, you'd basically be fine. There's enough good stuff in PlayStation 1's library to keep you going for your entire life. In every genre. I think that's as far back as you can go and have that be true. Super Nintendo had a great library, but was limited by the cartridge format. PS1 had RTSs on it. It had horror games that were proper horror games. If you're talking about 2D games, 32-bit machines did everything you could possibly want. Can I grab it? 32-bit is when 2D got so good that it didn't matter anymore. Any improvements. PS2 had the better library, obviously, but I'm just saying that's as far back as you can go and have one console that has so much good stuff on it. And like, I wouldn't really feel like I was deprived, even compared to modern games, if I only had a PlayStation. There's just never-ending good stuff. It's sufficient. It's 3D graphics. It's got CD audio, analog stick controls. It's sufficiently modern.
Well, well, well. Looks like Mr. Becker was right. You're up to something behind his back. These things are supposed to go to Mr. Becker, I reckon.
What will interest Becker is in locker number 17. The contents of this box are none of OCP's concern.
I'll have to tell Mr. Becker that you have not given us all the material.
I assure you that it will end up worse for you than for me.
I already know from the movie that OCP betrays me. Why would I side with OCP? Is this game going to pass the Bechdel test? The Neo Bechdel test where they have to be women of color talking to each other? No, apparently not. Yes, let's have a private conversation 10 feet away from the OCP stooges.
So I'm guessing you have my stuff. Did OCP arrive at the party?
They tracked my location.
Because they trust you so much. Speaking of which, the box. What if I lied about it? Did you ever think of that? There may be a bomb inside or the head of my sworn enemy. Do you want to know what's inside?
No. The sound of your voice does not indicate that you are lying.
Just don't depend on your lie detector when you talk to politicians. In the box are my personal belongings. Letters, memorabilia, things that actually matter to me. When you become too tough to hit directly, the scum will try to get to you through your loved ones.
I understand.
So we have even more in common. Once OCP takes care of my old documents, I'll have the space to deal with the Delta City issue and help the people of Old Detroit. You've helped them already, though. Thank you. Ronnie's Grocery. Leave the box there.
Oh, I wonder what the ending will be like because of this. I wonder how many endings there are. What a special gem of a game. This is going to be fondly remembered by many.
What do you mean, $1? It's $23.50.
I have Samantha.
I get it. I'll bet that for $1.
Yes. I'm glad you're helping her. Without that girl, OCP would put us all in
Haha, I understood that reference.
Still might. They did a number on a lot of families, hers included. Samantha's mother took it worst. But that's not a story for me to tell. Anyway, leave the box in the back, next to the cat food. She's supposed to pick up everything tomorrow.
Stomp, 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 stomp. Stompity stomp, stompity stomp, stomp. This looks like every other convenience store in every spooky game we play. I miss playing spooky games. Am I alone in that? Oh, this would have been handy a long time ago. Remember how long we hunted for the last couple crimes? If only we had this power up back then. This must be what they meant by making it easier to rack up EXP. I'm the ultimate detective now.
Can I toss a coin into the fountain?
Waste of money, honey. Someone will steal it before you make a wish.
And there's the guy stealing the coins.
Entering the fountain is strictly prohibited.
But I'm not even fully in, just my feet.
You are free to go, but no one steps into the same fountain twice without a ticket.
I think I got it.
It's hard to tell sometimes what the right call is. That's the most interesting part of the game to me. It's challenging you to be an arbiter of justice. Oh, it's a They Live reference. Is that... Are they signaling to their fans that They Live is the next property they're going to adapt? That tracks, because the Robocop vision is basically just the Ultra vision from Terminator, or the Terminator vision. The same gameplay mechanic could be putting on and taking off sunglasses, where having them on raises the suspicion of the aliens. That really makes me suspicious that They Live is going to be the next one they adapt. That might be cool if we get to see more alien shit. What do you think? They Live by Taeon? It would be different enough because of the glasses mechanic. And it has a good socially conscious message about homelessness and about global warming. I gotta ticket this guy.
Smoking is dangerous, not to mention illegal.
I don't give a shit about either.
Then you must suffer the consequences.
No one in this country values independent thinkers anymore.
I'm right though, I think. Why would they reference They Live specifically in Robocop if they weren't going to adapt that one next? Taeon's quickly becoming one of my #1 most anticipated developers next to Frictional. I always look forward to what Frictional does next. Now I'm going to keep my fucking eyes peeled looking at Taeon. They earned the accolades they get. They deserve every bit of praise. What the fuck? Area of investigation. Oh, this thing. You have to face it to read it. That's clever. Look at this. Look at this old-timey ass truck. I remember seeing these when I was a little kid.
Is that true? Mary has to close a restaurant?
2 words. Delta City. Ah, they say we're in a record-breaking recession, but people are throwing away things and stuff. I bet you haven't written such a piece before.
Perhaps you have a hearing problem. The lady said no.
You're right. That is what she said, officer. I've got to check my hearing aid.
Thank you, Robo. That guy was giving me the creeps.
Can't do that.
You are committing an act of vandalism.
Yeah, did the guy from the poster send you?
Compliance with the law has no political affiliation.
I wish that was true.
I will not issue a ticket at this time. But remember, dreams are difficult to build and easy to destroy.
You know nothing about politics. But thanks anyway.
He was just exercising political speech. Even if he's against the, I guess he's against both candidates. That guy's actually kind of based. That seems like a guy who has an anime PFP or a frog poster. He's like 20 and he's like, you know nothing about politics. Neither do you, you little baby. Can I climb up here? Yes, I can. What if Robocop was in pain all the time and all the dialogue options were just him screaming? Hey, you can't do that. Come on. Don't be an asshole. You're getting a ticket for that.
Littering is against the law.
It's an act of revenge. I was loyal and she betrayed me.
Trouble in a relationship is no excuse for littering.
What? I mean my boss. She fired me after all these years, so I'm spreading confidential papers. Let everyone know the fraud her company is up to.
You can go, but remember, revenge results from weakness. Forgiveness requires strength.
Yeah, sure. Have it your way.
That was the right answer, apparently. Enhanced learning, get 30% more experience points. Fuck yes. Finally. The fruits of my labor. I should have done that. I should have done that to start with. Why did I not do that? It means I'm going to be hamstrung this whole playthrough. Where the fuck was the ladder? I can't jump. Robocop was made out of a white man, so I can't jump. Where the fuck is the ladder? There was a ladder, right? How do I get down? Ah! Nice guy is dead. Is the dinosaur the nice guy? He looks nice. I really wish for a jump button. It's not over here. There's like a round back here, I think. Oh, maybe that's over here. Yes, it was. I'm stupid. It says I have one viewer. Is that the U-Starter GIF? It's not always accurate, though. It's the Atari Jaguar that drives everybody away, but I can't help myself.
Greetings. Waiting for the movie screening.
Just browsing to find which movie would most enhance my nuke experience.
Has working with the police not made you change your ways?
I need to keep up appearances. Otherwise, I wouldn't be much use as an informer, now would I? Now, tell me, what's the next job for the police's finest duo?
I need information on Spike's whereabouts.
That SOB. I'll never forgive him for what he did to Briggs. Luckily, there ain't much left of the street vultures after the bank heist. They're probably laying low. But now you mention it, I heard about a biker who had a crash near the riverbank just behind the mart. So, your best bet is to check out the scene of the accident and maybe hit up a nearby mechanic to see if they know anything.
You really want justice for Briggs?
We owe him. But it's more about Daniel and Gale. And I think everyone will sleep better once those butchers are taken care of.
Any witnesses?
There's this crazy old bum who hangs out around there. He's nosy. Maybe he could help.
Are you positive that he escaped on the damaged motorcycle?
Not so much on it as with it. From what I gathered, the bike suffered more than just a dent. I'm guessing he must have dragged it to some nearby mechanic to get it back in shape. I think Ben's shop is the closest.
Thank you. You have given me all I need.
I know you're busy, but there's something that I need your help with.
I will not be involved in any illegal activity.
That's very presumptuous of you. I just need help finding a VHS tape in the rental place across the street. The title slipped my mind, and I assume you've got like a database or something in your head that'll make looking for it a breeze. So what do you say? Will you help me look for it?
If it helps you stay out of trouble, let us proceed.
Yeah, it'll solve all my problems. Let's go.
Reminds me of Stamper.
So there's this movie about a guy with a gun, and there's this bad guy who wants something. I'm pretty sure the title has some biblical reference in it.
You lack vital information on the subject.
Yeah, shit. Here we go again. When's there gonna be a sale on Resident Evil 4 Remake? Is what I want to know. I kicked the door in.
Okay, let's start searching. Remember, the title has something to do with the Bible, saints, cosmos, or... Let's start by checking the thriller and drama sections.
Should we ask the owner?
Forget him. He has no idea about movies. He thinks that Salamanca deserved the Golden Piston for the Best Picture.
I heard that, and it did.
Garden of Earthly Delights.
Oh man, great movie. Very elegant. Panned by the critics though. But the director is a badass. He personally showed up to one of those ceremonies to accept the award for the worst movie of the year.
We do not need to bow to outside pressure.
Easier said than done, man.
Diamonds are made under great pressure.
Wait, you think there's a diamond within me? Do you see my shine? I'm just messing with you. That was truly inspirational. But let's get back to it, because that's not our tape.
Is this just a way to show off the devs?
Love that one. You know that movie could have never happened. The director threw out the script after reading a couple of pages. Thankfully, his wife picked it out of the trash, and after reading it, she forced her husband to give it another look.
Everyone deserves a second chance.
Do we?
Oh, like Robot.
I'm not so sure about that.
Alex Murphy was given a second chance.
But I mean, you really deserved it. Which is something I couldn't say about a lot of people. Anyway, I don't want to spoil the mood, but that's not the tape we're looking for.
Interesting character building.
Nothing in thriller or drama.
Okay, how about you check in the sci-fi and action section? I'll have a look at horror.
Horror. To all the zoomies watching, this is what DVDs used to be. Or Netflix, I guess.
Eve's Flower.
Beautiful depiction of violence in that one.
Do you think violence can be beautiful?
It's just shown with a different sensibility to what we're used to. Maybe because the guy's European. You know how they are. It's different. It's cool is all I'm saying.
Recognizing beauty in something ugly is a unique feature.
Is it?
Doesn't pay the bills, though. Then again, I don't have bills to pay anyway.
You know movies. There is value in that.
Yep. There's nothing better than a good movie. But we're still missing our tape.
Celestial Decay.
Classic. Still waiting for a sequel. But the guy who did that one has never made a part 2 in his career. But he said that if he ever did, he'd do a sequel to that one. How do you feel about that? Sequels, remakes, comic book adaptations, etc.
You're in one.
They give hope that there is more.
Yeah. Plus, you get to meet the characters you liked again. That's why I don't hate them. Anyway, risking to sound like a broken record, that's not the tape we're looking for. Hey, I think I found it. I messed up the title a little. It's called Me, Sire. But here it is.
Isn't that the tape we're looking for?
Tape? What? What tape?
You like movies? Do you want to shoot an action movie?
I think I'll wait till it comes out on VHS.
Lights, camera, action!
Crap! Crap! I need a hand over here!
Do you need assistance?
I'll torch you!
Is that everything? A little bit of a mess.
First, I hear a bunch of movie puns, and then everyone starts shooting. It all happens so fast.
Where is Pickles?
He ran out the back door.
Where will I find him?
I don't know. But homeless or not, you still have to give an address to get a membership card. Try the computer. Maybe you'll find something there.
Can I open this? I can't. Why does every fucking horror game have VHS tapes as the spooky movie format? Are laserdiscs not spooky? Lone with teenagers. Huh. Lost in Sewers. That's got to be Civvy. Gotcha. Sticky pickles and sweeties, huh? Huh. The bad, the fat, and the dirty. Also seems probably lewd. Roll kitten straight back. Cube's Arena. Cube! Would be a cool movie for Teon to adapt. Although it would be compared to Portal, probably. Y'all ever seen Cube? You would switch between all the characters, and they'd each have a special ability, like the autistic guy.
You're all right.
I was where he was living.
Talk.
I overheard some torchheads saying that they were running away from the cops and went through that video store. They had a wad of drug money on them and didn't want the cops taking it, so they hid it in one of the VHS cases. I misheard the title, so I needed help.
That is not the kind of help I was willing to provide.
Come on, give me a break. I fucked up, I know. And I get that you're on a mission to save my life or something. With all that great advice of yours, diamonds are made under great pressure. I'm not a fucking diamond, okay? I'm a junkie. There's just one thing that I need right now.
Which is?
All I need right now is a fix. So, let me keep the money. You won't hear me asking about anything else.
Are you asking a police officer to leave you with money from nuke distribution?
I know you're a police officer first, but can't you be a friend this one fucking time?
No, I can't.
I am not doing this as a police officer. I am doing it as a friend. Hand over the case.
You can't do this to me, man.
I just did.
Fuck you, Tin Man. I earn that money fair and square.
You can't make me help you get it fixed when that's not helping you, bro. I will not enable an addict. I want to help him, but that's not how to do it.
Greetings, citizen.
Ah, the best cop in the hood is back. How can I be of service?
I am here in regards to a fugitive.
Oh, damn. What is wrong with this thing? I need to get that car down. God knows what might happen. Can you help me out with this? It's new and I don't know where I put the manual.
Stand back.
Go on then. Let's see how it's done. I thought you knew how to bring that car down. Can't be that hard. It doesn't start. Pop the hood. So, do you know what the problem is?
Spark plugs are not the main culprit. There is no power. Battery is fine, stable, above 12 volts.
Fully charged is 14 for SLA.
The coil has been disconnected.
That would explain the car not starting.
He's a man of many talents. He's a Robert Endicott, remember?
I detected an electric current inside the cooling tank. I recommend grounding it to fix the problem, but I am sure that...
Yes, it's an easy fix.
Fucking magnets, how do they work? Am I not done yet? I'm not done.
It started. We're on the money. Well done, Robocop. You are one serious Swiss Army man.
I am best at catching criminals. I should get back to it.
You said earlier you were looking for someone.
A biker. Have you repaired any motorcycles recently?
As a matter of fact, I did. This big, chunky guy showed up. Bald head, big ears, and spiky beard. Wasn't really warm and cuddly, but he paid cash in advance. So why would I refuse?
Do you know the whereabouts of this individual?
I don't, but he asked me if I do paint jobs too. Then showed me a ripped-out page that had a tattoo design on it. He asked me to spray a mean-looking bird onto his gas tank.
Why do you think the design was intended for a tattoo?
The page he handed me had other graphics, which were clearly tattoo designs. And, as far as I remember, it had the address of a tattoo parlor that's close by printed on the bottom of the page.
What was the design you sprayed onto his motorcycle?
It was some sort of bird, but I don't know what it's called. I'm not a botanist. But it had a bald head.
A vulture.
Thank you for the information. Proceeding to the tattoo parlor.
Yeah, I can see They Live. They Live had some iconic locations, like that Troy McClure ass house up in the Hollywood Hills. Had that iconic 12-minute fist fight. Had the underground alien base that you can access through portals. Mostly, it would be distinctive because of the sunglasses mechanic, though, and having all the textures be different when you look through glasses. Having like a suspicion meter as a mechanic. I could totally see that being the next one. I'll have to wait on my
Murphy,
perfect Blade Runner game
It's
then.
gotten real ugly in there.
Not yet. I'll have to wait. Crime never sleeps. Or The Shadow. Can you imagine The Shadow game by Teon?
Full metal armor and you still want piercings. Hey, respect.
I am not here for that.
A tattoo, then. It'll really bring out that jawline.
My body wears enough scars.
Believe me, you can never have enough of these puppies. Anyway, if you're not here for inking, what do you want?
A biker called Spike. I heard he was your customer.
I don't serve no bikers. Don't know who told you that, but it's a load of bull.
Are you denying making tattoos for the street vultures?
You've got no proof, cop. Now stay off my case. I need to get back to my work.
We'll see about that.
What next? You're gonna try to tell me that I'm smuggling nuke in a red inker?
Do you?
You still here? I don't want my customers to confuse my parlor for an auto shop.
I found evidence of your connections to the biker gang.
I'm not telling you nothing, cop.
Spike and what is left of the street vultures are going down. It is your choice if you want to join them.
Ah, fuck. I told him not to come in here when he was so hot. He brought this on himself.
Where is he?
He's got a place nearby somewhere, but I don't know where exactly.
I am afraid this information is too vague.
His motorcycle must be parked outside. It's some sort of chopper. I don't know. You can check the plate number on that photo.
I know there is more you're not telling me.
His motorcycle has a decal on the gas tank. It's a black vulture with wheels instead of claws.
Wise choice for a scum artist.
It's the first time I've gotten any benefit.
Concentrate with all those reflections bouncing off your armor.
Also, Battlestar Galactica 1978 would be an awesome game for, awesome series for Teon to adapt. Now we can actually upgrade other stuff. Don't you fuck with me.
Hey, Robocop. Mr. Mills would like to have a word. He's waiting in the car.
Come on, come on.
It is an honor to finally meet the hero of the city in person. It's a shame that our basketball team can't fill us with similar pride. Yeah, just lost to Atlanta. Some say it's because of a lack of team players. Do you think it's that important? Being a team player?
Not every team is worth joining.
You have a very multifaceted outlook. Impressive. As for me, I have always valued team play. That was the way things were when my parents worked for the city. My grandfather used to tell me that this neighborhood was a great place for an evening stroll. Now it's different. Kuzak allows the city to be taken over by criminals. He can't stop it because he's not a team player. He fails to realize that OCP has given this city its most precious treasure.
He makes a good point.
You. I want to work with you in OCP to improve this city. I want to take care of your interests. It's about time someone did. But to make it a reality, we would need your support. So, what do you think about getting involved in politics?
Involvement in politics is a civic duty.
I'm glad you think so. You are the symbol of the city. Everything you do, everything you say has a political impact. No matter if you talk privately or publicly. You should choose what you want to represent. Incompetence and unaccountability, or partnership and determination. Only one of these paths leads Detroit to its former glory. You say you wouldn't join every team. So, let's create a team that you would want to be a part of.
I like the sound of this guy.
We have a common goal. Together, it will be easier to achieve it.
But he's with OCP.
We're already late for another meeting. Now think about what we've discussed. About what we could do for the city. Together, as a team. Count on your support.
It's no good, bro. I've already seen the movie. I supported him? I didn't mean to support... How'd I support him? I didn't say that. I didn't support shit. How'd I support him? I didn't want to do that. That's going to affect the ending I get. Then again, let's think about this. This movie was made before we saw how bad the deregulation of drug possession and deregulation of homelessness could get. So back then it probably seemed like the warm-hearted humanitarian move to side with old Detroit and business as usual. But living in 2023 as we do, we have a perspective that the creators of this film did not have. We have seen the outcome of their thinking, and it just gets worse and worse. It never gets better. It's not an issue of poverty. It's an issue of drugs and organized crime. So I think with the hindsight that living in the future relative to this movie affords us, it's not really clear anymore who the good guys and bad guys are. except, let me think. There is that loophole. They're going to cheat everybody out of their housing, and they're not going to pay them for it. So I guess I have to still side against OCP. OCP is still the bastards. I better take care of the courthouse thing. I don't want to glitch it though by doing interrupting missions. Fuck, I don't know if that'll work or not. I had a bad experience with soft locking very early on.
City Hall is the decaying symbol of mismanagement and corruption. Detroit deserves a fresh start. And the only way to achieve that is to take the city private. Delta City, for our children.
He might have a fucking point if it wasn't for the scam. I can't betray Ortiz. I can't do that. I already made a promise and a commitment to her. And she's the champion of the people. Fuck out of my way, peasant. Oh, poor guy. No, I'm still looking for that motorcycle. This looks a lot better during the daytime than Terminator did. You know why I think we're getting They Live after this is because I think the reason they chose to do Robocop after Terminator is because it's so straightforward to adapt. Because a lot of the mechanics in Terminator are reusable for Robocop, and the altered vision mechanic would be very easily reusable for They Live.
Officer Washington, I will be your field trainer for today. Requesting readiness confirmation.
Yeah, thanks for the offer, but maybe the others are right. I might not really be cut out for field work.
If we live the way others want us to live, what kind of life would it be? Or rather, whose?
You're right. I want to be my own man. Officer Washington reporting for field training.
Good, you have your body armor on. Well done. What about the rest of your gear? Service pistol?
Got it.
Spare ammunition?
Check.
Duty light?
Never part with it.
Good job. Preparation is the most important. So is knowing your surroundings. Are you familiar with this area?
Isn't this the part of the city where it gets really busy like all the time?
Please!
I think that answers my question.
Please! I need your help!
Set the radio to my channel and follow me.
Roger that.
An officer needs to be confident. Straight back, sturdy walk, together with a clear and unshaking voice.
That's true. He should be really heavy, shouldn't he?
Officers, thank God you're here. I really need your help. What happened is...
When responding to a request for aid, the first thing is to introduce yourself to the potential victim. Watch and learn. I am Officer Murphy. How do you do, madam?
Well, to tell you the truth...
The second thing is to reassure the victim of their safety. Madam, you do not need to be afraid anymore. We are here to help you.
Yes, but it's not about me.
The third thing is...
I'm quite familiar with the field training manual, so if you don't mind, I'll take over. Ma'am, could you please tell us what happened?
Look at the hair technology.
Fortune. He's missing. Fortune is my biggest treasure. I can't lose him.
Do you have any idea where he might be?
The only place I can think of is the basement. I've also heard some ruckus coming from downstairs today, but the lights aren't working and my eyesight's not so good anymore.
Is it okay for us to investigate the basement?
Yes, it makes an excellent opportunity for low-light training. Let us proceed downstairs.
Good luck down there. Cat has that name for a reason. He really brings fortune.
Turn your
so
flashlight
don't you come
on.
back without him.
Right.
Duty light can be advantageous, but it can also be a liability. Keeping it close to you creates a clear target for the violators. It is good practice to hold the duty light away from your body.
I don't remember reading that in the field manual. Did you get it from a different book?
No, from experience.
Oh, getting shut the fuck up. Did I always have that?
Clear. Clear. Hey, I think I just saw the cat. You think I should try to remove these planks?
Stand aside.
Gosh, you are strong, ain't you?
Let us get back on track.
Sure thing. What was that?
And a kitten cat. Is this blood or paint?
Ah, man, I walked into a mess. Now my shoes are covered in strawberry jam.
When chasing a suspect, do not rush head first. Take blind corners as wide as possible. Cuts down on being surprised. The fugitive has left a trail. This time pace yourself. Do not get out of breath during a foot pursuit. You will need stamina to engage the fugitive later.
Oh, looks like he stopped by the spilled paint can.
Suspect might be intoxicated.
I used to know these kids who gave their cat stomach medicine to make it loopy.
Is there a moral to that story?
Cats are susceptible to substance misuse.
Oh, they're so much like me.
I heard something. I think it's coming from the piano.
Torbington. Emerge!
That cat must be hiding inside. Let me lure it out.
Go ahead.
There it is! It's escaping! Darn it! It went through here, but that's a very narrow passage. Let's try the door.
You can fit through there. I don't
It's
accept
locked,
that.
but I can try to squeeze through that gap.
Step aside.
Hope I not scare Kitor. There could have been steam that could have hurt him. What's good, Stratagiff? We're finding a cat.
I'm afraid this time it's a one-way street, Mr. Cat. Where are you hiding?
Little fellow. Don't be afraid of me, I'm just a big stomping, noisy cyborg. Why would a cat be afraid of a cyborg man? No warrant. Fair enough. That's a good reason to have fake doors in the game. It's just you don't have a warrant to go through them.
There he is. Oh gosh, Fortune. You look a mess. Think he's alright?
The cat is fine. You can take it back to its owner. I will clean up any remaining mess.
Okay, see you soon.
Will I actually, though? It's very linear. But. I don't see any other clues. If I can move this guy's body. There we go. Wait, what's that? Oh. Bone fragments.
It's Washington. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. What is your status?
We got a problem. I'm on the second floor and have a visual on multiple armed suspects entering our location. Most of them are away, but I can hear some coming up the stairs.
Do not engage yet. Take your time and find the most advantageous location.
Got it.
Officer Washington?
Sir.
Keep cool. I am coming up to have your back.
Glad to hear that, sir.
Anybody in here?
Don't just fucking stand there!
I threw him into the fucking Buckaroo Banzai dimension. I would be very scared of Robocop. There's every reason.
Much longer, sir. We're in Pig. Nowhere to hide now. Drop your guns. Fuck!
Ulysses, no.
What is your status?
I'm hit.
Remain calm. I am here.
That was tense. I need a breather.
You okay?
Officer Washington, your performance today was impressive.
Thank you, sir. Means a lot coming from you.
You will be fine. It is only a superficial wound.
See? I've told you that cat brings luck. Isn't this just wonderful?
A man was shot, you old bitch. Now why don't one of you young strapping lads give my pipes a good cleaning? The older the berry, the sweeter the juice. This is surreal. Aspects of it feel authentic to a time period that I was dimly aware for as a child. Like renting tapes and shit. I never lived in the city, but I visited the city a lot. With my parents, so... This is a lot like what Portland looks like. Just wet and grimy and cement and asphalt. Do you think this game will give them enough experience to feel confident building a larger, more open game the next time with a bigger city? Or is that even desirable? As we found out with Starfield, the right answer is not always just to make the game bigger. It is, but I also don't like wet cities. They're gross. Cities also just smell bad and are unhygienic. And have rats and cockroaches.
What happened?
Can you believe this? A bunch of repeat offenders came up with a bright idea to storm the courthouse. For some reason, they think that if they destroy it, their prior convictions will go away. They took hostages and are now demanding both the 6,000 SUX and a plane to Acapulco.
Acapulco is a war zone.
I don't think these guys follow the news. But I'm afraid that it may be too late to rescue the hostages if we wait for SWAT.
If they want to fly into a war zone, I have first-class tickets for them.
Oh, here I go killing again. Look at the environmental destruction. Who's talking? OCP card. Where the fuck is the OCP card? Haven't I upgraded the shit out of the Auto 9 enough? It's almost fully maxed out. What the fuck do I do? Let's see. I'm stuck. Oh, here we go. To dev for sure. What the fuck? What am I doing wrong? I'm gonna quit for now. I'm gonna lose some progress, that's okay. There's something I wanted to show you guys. I didn't get a chance to yet tonight. Some absolute mad lad recreated Aliens vs. Predator Jaguar in Unreal Engine. Which is, I guess, a good thing, because no one has the hardware to play that on. And because it was one of the more sought after games, and because it had a shit frame rate on the original hardware. You can't play the alien, though, sadly. You can only play as the Marine. Observe. It has to be Marine. Look at that smooth frame rate. And then make sure you actually are seeing it. You are.
What on earth got a hold of this guy?
It's got texture filtering now, so it's not totally authentic. I'm not going to let the alien out of the chamber because you have limited ammo. It's really kind of a survival horror. Funny story about this game is it's a roguelike, but it calculates all the enemy positions in real time, which is hugely wasteful. You never notice it in the course of your regular playthrough, so it doesn't benefit the game at all. But that's the reason the frame rate's so terrible. Perhaps realizing that, they also planned a game called Legions of the Undead, which was based on an enhanced version of this engine that ran more smoothly because it wasn't calculating so much unnecessarily. and that never came out. It almost came out, but it was a little too late. No, that's not a shame.
Computer disengaged.
So yes, you can actually use the computers in this game. It's a little bit more sophisticated than like Wolfenstein or something. Also, notice this engine allows you to vary the textures on the floors and ceiling on a per tile basis. Very useful attribute to have in an engine like this, which Rise of the Triad does not have, and I'm upset about that because it would really greatly enhance the longevity of that game. That's supposed to be a loading area. Right there was supposed to be loading, where it doesn't have the whole level of memory at one time, so there's like a hissing sound, and then everything freezes, and then the airlock opens. So yeah, this runs way the fuck better than it ever did on Jaguar. Unnecessarily so, unfortunately. It's a little bit more sophisticated than Wolfenstein, but not much. These were just animated textures originally. Got great ambient audio. Although it was on cartridge, then again, you don't really need a lot of space for a droning machine sound. Sure love the zigzag. Get the ammo. Let me just show you something real quick. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. But this game also has a ventilation duct system, which is kind of cleverly implemented, as it's just a separate maze with different textures. And different animations for crawling enemies, because it's supposed to be a smaller space, you see. Can't see my health. Oh, yes I do. Yeah, that's the ventilation duct system. There's a lot more going on than you might expect it to, for a simple, what is basically a roguelike. It's more interesting to play as the alien, though, as you get to cocoon and humans. I might emulate AVP Jaguar next time, just to drive people off again. Anyways, that's AVP Unreal, which absolutely needed to exist, because that's usually the only game people are really curious about from the Jaguar platform. Even though it's a good game, but it's not the best one. It just looks like the best one because it's fully texture mapped and has a recognizable property a lot of people are into. More to come. Eventually, I want to get done with Robocop, and I want to go back to streaming Atari VCS games and Jaguar games, because that's what the people demand. And I'm being facetious. And I also want to go back to streaming shitty spoofer games because that's the soul of this channel, and I feel like I've been neglecting it. And we'll move towards that direction more on Wednesday. Same ham time, same ham channel. It's 7 o'clock West Coast time. That's PM, West Coast time, to 11 PM. This is your friendly neighborhood ham dad signing off and returning you to your regularly scheduled sleepy time. That's the right one. 3 times the charm.